I was getting ready to stop doing videos and then this cropped up. And I just hope that anybody that lives in the area of Mobile and New Orleans, please make sure you're prepared because it looks like Nate is coming pretty fast. They had computer models saying that this storm would hit on Sunday, but look like it's coming Saturday evening instead. So it'll be Saturday evening into Sunday. It should be making landfall. They're now saying about 7 p.m. along the Gulf Coast. So Nate is officially in the Gulf of Mexico as we speak. Hurricane Nate, due to be a Category 2 storm at Gulf Coast landfall. Let's go ahead and listen to this video.
90-mile-per-hour storm forecast to be 105 at landfall. Big changes since we've been away here. So we need to pay attention. The water is still very warm. Hurricane Hunter finding a closing eye, which means the storm is intensifying. It is getting stronger. The storm surge will be 11 feet now with this storm as it makes its way onshore. There you go, 105 miles per hour, 7 o'clock tonight, Central Time, very close to Pilot Town. That's the end of the Mississippi River. And then it's going to turn to the right a little bit and head right toward Biloxi. Biloxi, you could see wind gusts of 120 miles per hour. So all of a sudden, we've ramped up from a tropical storm to what will be a Category 2 at landfall. Hurricane warnings here in red. Hurricane watches even still around still, but really it's the tropical storm warnings that go from Montgomery all the way to Birmingham. There'll be trees down all across this area, even though you're 100 or so miles away from the landfall. 7 to 11 feet here from Biloxi back over to New Orleans. That's the surge. Now, I know Katrina had a 20-foot surge, so this isn't Katrina. But 11 feet, that is a big surge for a coastal community. This is like a catcher's mitt. All this water is going to pile up in here and then run up those rivers, and that's where that surge is going to be the worst. Here's where the radar looks like right now. We're going to move you ahead now. We'll kind of advance the radar all the way through tonight and even up to Mobile. Very heavy rainfall, flash flooding when it comes to freshwater rainfall flooding, likely in Alabama, Georgia, Kentucky, Tennessee, all the way up to West Virginia. Now we get to the wind speeds. Biloxi Gulf Shores only in the 50s by 7 o'clock. Look at this. 11 o'clock tonight, Biloxi, you may have a wind gust of 123. It's a forecast wind gust out of a computer model. I get it, but that's what the computer model is thinking right now.
All right, y'all. You know, those of you that are in the areas of New Orleans.
A few minutes ago, I received my third briefing from the.
I just want to say those of you that are in the area of Mobile and New Orleans, you know, please take cover. It just seems like these hurricanes are not missing the U.S. So now you're talking about Harvey, Irma, Maria, and now Nate is officially a hurricane, and they believe it's already in the Gulf of Mexico, and it's believed to make a landfall this evening at a Category 2. This is the mayor of New Orleans. I'm going to go ahead and play this video.
National Weather Service on the development of Tropical Storm Nate. Early in the day, I met with the governor. The National Weather Service has shared that Nate has shifted slightly eastward, and the hurricane watch has been upgraded to a hurricane warning with 50-mile-per-hour winds. Nate is expected to move into the Gulf of Mexico by this evening, form into a hurricane, and potentially approach the Louisiana coast by Saturday evening, which after that may devolve back into a tropical storm. As I shared yesterday, the city remains under a state of emergency as we prepared, and I assure you and the public that we are very well prepared. We have a great team of first responders and organizers. We have been through this many times before, and we are ready for whatever Nate brings our way. While still uncertain, the latest forecast shows that Nate's strengthening will produce heavy winds and above average rainfall in the area now beginning Saturday afternoon through Sunday. Current forecasts have 3 to 6 inches of rain over the duration of the system. Our greatest threats, though, from this particular storm, because everyone is different, is not necessarily rain, but strong winds and storm surge. We can see serious tropical storm force winds between 30 to 80 miles per hour starting on Saturday.
All right, y'all. That was the mayor of New Orleans. All right, so let's get into this story. Now, Nate is officially a hurricane and is expected to be a Category 2 storm when it makes landfall overnight. Now, it was originally projected to hit on Sunday, but looked like it's coming in this evening. Southeast of New Orleans, the National Hurricane Center said late Saturday morning, Nate, with lashing winds of 90 miles per hour, sprinted north Saturday morning across the Gulf of Mexico. The Category 1 storm rumbling north-northwest at 26 miles an hour was 180 miles from the mouth of the Mississippi River and 265 miles from Biloxi, Mississippi, the Hurricane Center said in its latest advisory. Hurricane warning is in effect for portions of northern Gulf Coast from Louisiana to Alabama, with the strongest winds expected to occur primarily to the east of the center, said the Hurricane Center, which expanded its tropical storm warnings east to Indian Pass on the Florida Panhandle. Nate's fast-forward speed after landfall will bring tropical storm force winds well inland across portions of southeastern U.S., it says. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely in the Gulf. This is the radar map. Wow. This is hard to believe. The hurricane season in general is so hard to believe this year. Wow. It made it into the Gulf. That means it is definitely going to make landfall. The storm could make landfall Saturday evening. Okay. And it's not going to be as devastating as Katrina, but it looked like it's following that same path as Katrina. Some mandatory evacuations have been ordered in areas outside levees in New Orleans and Plaquemine Parish, and some voluntary evacuations were in place along the Mississippi and Alabama coast. Trump on Friday declared an emergency in Louisiana ahead of Nate and ordered federal assistance to supplement state and local response efforts. Strong winds expected. The storm's reach will be wide, CNN meteorologist Chad Meyer said, with strong winds affecting population centers from New Orleans to Panama City, Florida. Biloxi, Mississippi could experience wind gusts of 100 miles an hour. Nate was expected to knock down power lines and trees from Lake Charles, Louisiana to the Florida Panhandle, and possibly leave at least 1 million people without power. Preparations to protect life and property should be rushed to completion in these areas as tropical storm conditions will first arrive in the warning area this afternoon. The Hurricane Center warned tornadoes may be possible beginning late Saturday afternoon, parts of the central Gulf Coast, the Hurricane Center said. Tropical storm watches and warnings were in effect for portions of southeastern Mississippi, Alabama, and western Georgia. Nate could drop 3 to 6 inches of rain and 10 inches possible in some areas from the central Gulf Coast north across the Deep South and eastern Tennessee Valley and the southern Appalachians through Monday, the Hurricane Center said. Flash flooding is a danger. Once it hits land, it looks like it's going to be a very quick move out of the area and then weaken. CNN meteorologist Jennifer Varian said hurricane warnings were in effect in New Orleans, including Lake Pontchartrain and Grand Isle, Louisiana, east to the Alabama-Florida border. A storm surge warning was in place from Morgan City, Louisiana, to Okaloosa, Walton County line in Florida, and along the northern and western shores of Lake Pontchartrain. Okay. New Orleans braced for impact. Nate would be the third hurricane to hit the U.S. mainland in 6 weeks. That is so hard to believe. Hurricane Harvey and Irma tore through some coastal states, killing dozens and destroying thousands of properties. The storm had already carved a path of devastation in Central America. At least 25 people were killed Thursday in Costa Rica, Nicaragua, and Honduras. I did hear about the fatalities, and it was still a tropical storm when those fatalities happened, so it was not even declared a hurricane at that point. Hundreds were rescued from floodwaters and mudslides. Most lost power and running water. In New Orleans, first responders, sewer workers, and residents prepare for flooding after summer rains expose deficiencies in the city's unique drainage pump system. And I guess that's the mayor, this Mitch Landrieu. I encourage everyone to stay off street starting tomorrow at 6 and until we clear on Sunday so we can keep you safe. And this is what he tweeted. So I hope all of you that are living in these areas are prepared for hurricane number 3. It is so, actually 4 if you count Katia, because it hit Mexico, but that's still North America. So this is so hard to believe. If I didn't see this happen, I wouldn't believe it. I seriously wouldn't believe it. I just can't believe another hurricane within just a few more hours from now hitting the United States. Boy, this is some serious judgment, y'all. Please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. And if you can donate to my channel, please do. Peace, family.